Hi, I'm Andy Magruder of the law firm of Wilkinson Magruder, and I'm here with my law partner, Les Wilkinson, to discuss some commonly raised issues about the Social Security disability process. Les, this comes up at hearings all the time. Very complex issues here, but hopefully you can explain this to the folks out there in a very simple way. What does it mean when vocational experts talk about SVP and transferable skills? What do those terms mean?
Well, SVP, you'll often hear the vocational expert says, he'll classify your job, says this is an SVP of 3 or, unskilled or skilled or semi-skilled, like that. What they're talking about is specific vocational preparation. The Dictionary of Occupational Titles, which is somewhat outdated, but they still use it, defines every job that's out there by, exertional skills, educational training, and various other things. But specific vocational preparation simply means how long would it generally take you to learn the skills necessary to do that job. And they should go from 1, which is unskilled, to 9, which is highly skilled. I'm not sure what a lawyer fits in there, but maybe an 8 or a 9. But all these jobs have different skills. A manager of a big store might have a SVP of 8 because it takes a long time to learn how to do that job. And what's important about that is a lot of people have unskilled jobs, which is SVP 1 and SVP 2. In other words, it doesn't take any time to learn that job. And those people can be replaced quickly because it doesn't take much time. The semi-skilled is SVP 3 and SVP 4. And so it takes a little bit longer to learn to do that job. And the higher you go, it takes a much longer time to learn to do that job. And what's important about that is that if somebody who has a high skill level, say has a mental disability, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of phobias or PTSD, then that reduces their capability to do skill work a lot of times to unskilled work because they just cannot focus on the job. For instance, if you take a doctor or a surgeon, that's a really high skilled job. And if you do something to affect his ability to do that job, for instance, a surgeon, you might reduce his ability to use his hands, ability to stand, and that reduces his capability to do work. And that's why SVP is important.
So Les, at a hearing, why does a judge ask the vocational expert about transferable skills? What's the meaning of that discussion?
Well, Andy, transferable skills are very important in deciding if you can do other work. If somebody is highly skilled, has a lot of transferable skills, say for a manager who hires and fires people and who oversees a large operation and knows all the aspects of a particular job, and it takes a long time to reach that level. And so that person has a lot of transferable skills. He's got managerial skills, reasoning skills, decision skills, writing skills, communication skills. All these skills are important that would transfer to other jobs that might be available. So if a person cannot do the job that he used to do, or the past relevant work, but he has transferable skills that will transfer to other types of jobs, then that person may or may not be disabled depending upon what physical limitations they have.
So let me ask you this, Les. If a person's job gave them transferable skills, what are some reasons, whether physical or mental, that for that particular individual, those skills may not transfer to other jobs?
Right. A lot of jobs are industry specific. In other words, they're only useful in that particular industry. And if a person, for instance, a lot of construction jobs, you take somebody who's a welder, and he's got a lot of transferable skills within the welding business. But say he's got a bad back and he can't squat, he can't crouch, he can't reach. All of these are essential in doing the job of a welder. If he can't do that, but he might have other jobs that might transfer, but they're only within the construction industry, but he cannot do the physical duties of those jobs, then he has no transferable skills.
How does depression and anxiety and inability to focus and concentrate or perhaps get along with people play into this discussion and this issue of transferable skills?
It's extremely important. For instance, you take somebody who is a great communicator and he does, say, a counselor, and it takes a long time to be a counselor. And then for some reason, he can't get along with people. He just cannot stand being around people. He's got all these types of phobias. Well, that's going to reduce his skill level to unskilled work. Like, you can fold towels or you can sort stuff. And then that would reduce his skill capability to unskilled work. So
it's really important in terms of evaluating and presenting a case to a judge to factor into all the claimant's potential limitations, not just physical but mental, because that can impact what their transferable skills actually are. Is that correct?
Well, that's correct, because when we've talked before in some of the other videos, we've talked about the 5 steps necessary to reach disability. And the 5th step is there other work you can do? And then they look at your age, your education, your past work, and your transferable skills to determine, is there other work you can do? And that's why it's very important.